Our speaker is Miss Kristi. We had the pleasure of hearing her last week. We get her again this week. So, Miss Kristi Borst, come on up. There you go. Plenty of room. Very good. You're going to do great.
I love synchronicities. Last week when I was here, is that better? Last week when I was here, this magazine was on the table. It's Mornings with Myrtle. And I mentioned last week when I was talking about stepping into my healing abilities, my gift from God. I believe we all have gifts that we're here to share with one another. I mentioned that Myrtle Filmore was inspirational to me. Another inspirational person is Rev Judy, and I would like to include her in our prayers this morning. I'm happy to be able to support her by stepping in. I had prepared a prayer as part of the service, as part of the sermon, so I'm going to share that now for your contemplation. And please hold whoever is close to you and may need love and light, and know that God is already with each of us. This is a channeling or poem that I received in 2019, and it's called The Presence. You have a presence, it's a power and connectedness, your true self. It's hard to find presence in past tense wrongs, future fears, darkness. Yet the presence is so close, not in the heavens but within. You help it exist. In focusing on what feels not enough, you're looking through distorted glass of your own creation. You remain stuck because you've defined yourself within an illusion. You're seeing the illusion is all it takes for it to crumble. You are that powerful. Now that you have eyes to see, you can change. As each sees their miscreation, step forward in the presence, all vibration, matter, life is lifted. I, you, we can, do, will change the world. We are lifting one another. All is well, all is forgiven. Amen. And now we have a song.
You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are blessed peace. Blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace, God. Blessed peace is all Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place, such a holy place. You are deepest joy, deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy, God, deepest joy is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place, such a holy place. You are sacred love, sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love, God, sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are.
That was lovely. And again, very synchronistic to the prayer that was shared. So I wanted to kind of talk about Myrtle Filmore a little bit. I don't know how many of you know what her path was. She was struggling with tuberculosis, was told that she would always be ill, just like her father. And when she was 40, she was told she had 6 months to live. But she began to realize that if God was in her and she was part of God, there was no reason for her sickness. There was no flaw in creation. I'm going to read just a couple things from this little book. All things are possible. Those who believe in God know that everything is possible with Him. When we come to believe this, we are not astonished at anything. We begin to live. Our minds are open more and more, and we expect wonderful new things to come to us day by day. So imagine being frail and giving only months to live. Now picture that same woman, vibrant and healthy, living for another 45 years. The story of Myrtle Filmore is inspirational, and I realized in looking at this book that her name was actually Mary Carolyn, but her dad called her Myrtle. Myrtle said to herself again and again, I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. Those words became her mantra, her lifeline to health and vibrancy. She began to see herself not as a victim of illness, but as a vessel of divine healing power. Another person that was inspirational to me in stepping out of beliefs taught in science class and biology was Louise Hay. She did quite a bit of intuitive work about the mind-body-spirit connection, and I found her book, How to Heal Yourself, to be quite a good tool when I was starting to learn how to trust my own intuition. There's definitely a cause and effect in this world, and for better or for worse, our thoughts create. We do not understand, we're not taught how the world works, and I believe that the world works in a series of images that we're transmitting to our bodies, we're transmitting out into the world, we're transmitting to one another. And as we become aware of what we're transmitting, then we can start to edit ourselves. I want to give you an example of that. I think the universe doesn't always see the things that we say, I do not want this, I don't want this, but we're still sending that picture out. So a good example I use for this is to say, I'm trying to manifest a little sports car, and I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking of the leather interior, and I can see that wooden stick shift, and I can feel the wind blowing through my hair. Oh, but God, please don't let it be a lime green one. Did that image turn lime green? Yes. So we have to be aware of these things that we're telling ourselves and the universe and God. I'll use myself as an example. I mean, many times we believe that we will have an illness, or we have an illness because it's in our DNA. It's something that was passed on to us. But I invite you to consider that behaviors and beliefs are also passed on to us. For me, over 20 years ago, when I was only 45 years old, I had cataract surgery. And it makes sense to me now because, as I said, there's almost, I guess I didn't explain it well, but to me, there's like this mind-body connection, that the illnesses that we get are not necessarily random. They have to do with what we're thinking and what we're believing about ourselves. So for me, I was not seeing myself. I was not seeing my place. I was not seeing my light. And I believe that is primary reason why I had cataracts at such an early age. Our minds, bodies, emotions, spirits are connected. Every thought we think, every emotion we feel reverberates through our physical being. I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath and think of a time when you felt truly joyful. See how rich you can make that experience feel within yourself. And notice how your body responds. Perhaps your shoulders relax, or a smile tugs at your lips. This is mind-body connection in action. These words from Myrtle Filmore: I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. She used these words to reprogram her body, and I invite you to do the same. Repeat this affirmation with me and feel the power of these words. I am whole. I am whole. I am perfect. I am strong. I am powerful. I am loving. I am harmonious. I am happy. And if you can't claim any of those things, say, I am working toward. Everything is energy. There is, I don't know if folks have heard of Dr. Masaru Emoto. I love that his last name is Emoto, which is like emotions. But he did a study where he took water and he put a love energy word, the word love, on that container, and he put, chaos or hate or some other negative emotion on another container of water, and he froze them both. And the container with the negative energy, the crystals were all distorted. Our thoughts are like seeds we plant in the garden of our minds. They'll grow and flourish, or they'll not. Myrtle told us to be vigilant gardeners. She is the force behind silent unity. What thoughts have you been cultivating? Are they serving your highest good? Be careful and mindful of what you wish for. Think of the universe as your personal Etch-a-Sketch. Sometimes we can control what it looks like, but other times we just have to play and let it go. A powerful phrase, I think I mentioned it last week, for me, awareness equals the power of choice equals the power to change. Until we see things that we're maybe on autopilot with, we don't even see that we have a choice to not do that. So self-awareness is key. Again, realize that the universe doesn't always hear, I don't want, I don't need, or I can't. I encourage you to mute drug commercials that come onto your television, because thoughts are energy. Why plant that seed within yourself? Myrtle Filmore believed that we are all connected to a divine source of healing energy. I know that's true. By aligning ourselves with this power, we open channels for healing and transformation. I want to give you an example of someone that I worked with. When I started practicing in 2013, I worked with some friends at first just to see if this was really something. And I had a friend who had pneumonia like 3 times in a row. So I called her up and I offered to do a phone session with her. And as I worked with her, it came up that her dad had died when she was a child, and she wasn't really sure that he had loved her. She didn't think he wanted her. And the message came through much to the contrary of that he loved her, he was with her. And this feeling of not being lovable, not being able to take in love, frequently does affect the lungs. So I explained that to her, and as kind of can happen, she said, I'm taking the deepest breath I've taken in a long, long time. And what really astounded me, though, was she had a very yappy dog, and she commented, I talked to the dog while we were on the phone, and I said, she says, Russell he's very calm right now. He's laying next to me. I don't know what's happening. I said, well, he probably likes the calm energy. So I talked to Russell, and I said, Russell, you can come to this energy anytime you want. It's in your control. And she commented that a couple weeks later, her neighbor had come down and knocked on the door and asked if Russell was all right, because she hadn't heard him. So we can change, but we have to be aware of our power, and we have to use our free will. It's our gift. So the more consciously we use it, the more powerful we seem to become. Another example of how thoughts and beliefs can affect the physical body is a client, again, I had fairly early on in my practice. She came to me because she felt she was blocked meditating. And yet when she did her intake form, I usually ask people to note where they're having any physical symptoms. And she had, her whole spine was noted in her hands, so I said, what's going on? And she had scoliosis. And through the work that we did, it came up that she had been severely abused as a child. She had quite literally contorted herself to fit in to this family that was so abusive. We worked with her 4-year-old, 9-year-old to 13-year-old child selves. I kind of see us as Russian nesting dolls. You know, we think the past is the past, but these aspects of ourselves, if they're wounded, when we down talk ourselves, when we, trash talk ourselves, it's the youngest wounded aspect of ourselves that feels that. So love yourself. Love yourself merely for the fact that God is of and through you, but love yourself for the child self that you are. She later wrote, what an experience this whole thing has been. I still have vivid flashbacks of my child self at 4 and 9, dancing, running, skipping, and singing with joy. What a transformation. You've given me the motivation and trust in myself that was missing. I have been feeling less critical of myself, more accepting of my behaviors, able to truly look at them for what they are, and to accept them rather than judge them. You know, it's interesting that we're taught, or not taught, I guess, not to judge one another. But I think that our judgment of others tells us about ourselves. Either there's something that other person is doing that we recognize in ourselves, but we're not yet ready to change, or we are feeling that we can't be all that. And they're both illusion. So I find that we need to be mindful of how we're judging others because it tells us about ourselves. Conversely, I don't know if you've ever heard, but what other people think of you is none of your business. Because that is their stuff. And that is such a powerful awareness. Live your life the way that you were meant to live it. Let go of what other people are going to think about you, because, again, that's their woundings. Just have compassion. I'd like you to imagine that you have a portal. In fact, you do have a portal through your heart to God, to your ancestors, to all things good. So go within, connect within. When you pray, do not pray outside of yourself. Pray within yourself, for you are part of all that is. I think the closing statement I would like to say is, God said, I am that I am. So just be aware of how you wear the phrase, I am. Do not own anything you do not want to keep, for you are that powerful. Thank you.